Well, it seems like there was a Master System Sonic game that I really should have talked about that I missed. Now, I hear some of you out there saying, well, you should have done Sonic Labyrinth for the Sonic 8-bit Summer, whatever it's called, Marathon. But I'm talking about a ROM hack. Consider this video kind of an addendum to the Sonic Marathon. There's actually another proper review after this one. But I could not resist talking about this ROM hack of Sonic 2, the 8-bit version, when I found out about it. This is Sonic 2 Remastered for the Sega Master System. A 3-zone hack by Mr. Cat. That almost rhymes, you know, it kind of has an A emphasis on it, you know? But regardless, this hack is really impressive. And next to Sonic 2 LD, which I previously talked about in my Sonic 2 review, it's the only hack of Sonic 2 for Master System that I found, and I think it's worth your time. So come along for today's video as I tell you all about Sonic 2 Remastered for the Sega Master System. Welcome to Stuff We Play, where today we're looking at a really retro ROM hack. Ooh, I love me some alliteration. And if that sounds cool to you, why not subscribe? And this is nothing short of incredibly impressive. Mr. Cat himself seems to really have a lot of experience with this as well. As impressive as this hack is, he flat out said in a post on the Sonic Retro forums that he didn't like how it came out, and that's the reason why he's actually working on a new ROM hack of Sonic 2. Which you should all totally check out, by the way. I'm probably going to link that down in the description. So, Sonic 2 Remastered. Despite what the original creator, Mr. Cat, says about it, this game is actually phenomenal. For the 15 minutes or so that it lasts, it's an enjoyable time, and also it's a ROM hack, so it's free to play. There's 3 zones: Seaside Hill, not to be confused with the zone from Sonic Heroes, Neon Surge Zone, which reminds me a bit of Gigapolis from Sonic Chaos on the Master System and Game Gear, and Dreamgate Zone, which is, well, a very dreamy-esque zone. It kind of reminds me of Kirby, actually. There's no original music here, but thankfully Sonic 2 and Master System already had a phenomenal soundtrack. As you can tell, the graphics have all been updated. In fact, it looks like Sonic himself even got a new sprite. He seems a bit shinier than he did originally, though maybe that's just me. And Sonic feels, well, just as good as he did in Sonic 2. Except the level design seems to be quite a bit more forgiving. Also, I appreciate how it doesn't begin with the Underground Zone boss, though that boss does appear in the second zone in the game. What's really impressive here, graphically speaking, is that the time of day changes with each act. Seaside Hill actually begins at the beginning of sunset, and then goes into later sunset, and then by the time you get to the boss, it's nighttime. The second zone in the game, though, it takes place entirely at night, but it seems like night's going on as it goes on. And then Dreamgate Zone, well, I can't tell if that one's in Sonic's dream, it's almost a Nights in a Dream sort of way, or if it's in the early morning. What I find interesting here is how they perfectly utilize all the things in Sonic 2, except for loops. I didn't see a single loop here. Seaside Hill likes to make use of these ramps that shoot you up super high into the air, while later zones make use of these crumbling platforms, and yes, that terrible hang glider, though it's actually not too bad here. While yes, there is a pit that you have to fly over, it's small enough that just floating on the hang glider will get you through it. However, if you know how to actually control the hang glider, you can use it to score some extra rings, which are plentiful here. The level design here is interesting and lends itself well to exploration, I think. One thing that I'm also grateful for here is that there are rings in the boss acts. But then again, as this is the Master System version of Sonic 2 that this is a hack of, that added screen real estate definitely makes them easier anyways compared to the Game Gear version. The only real issues I've noticed here are a few glitches. First things first, when you get to the level select menu at the very beginning, yes, this game begins with level select. You can begin with any act of any zone in the game. You can scroll all the way down the list. Nothing happens if you click on any blank spaces, it's just kind of weird. Also, some of these zones seem to have Mystic Cave Syndrome. There's no bottomless pits here per se, but every pit acts like a bed of spikes, which means if you fall into a pit you can't jump out of, you just kind of gotta awkwardly stand there until you finally die after losing all your rings. What's also weird here is after completing each zone, you get sent back to the title screen. So you can't do the first zone, then the second zone, then the third zone. No, you have to do them all individually, which is a bit weird. But then again, I don't think this game was intended to be played like a normal Sonic game. This is meant to really show off what can be done with a proper mod of Sonic 2 and Game Gear and Master System. Well, Master System in this case. It's definitely a really cool remastered version of Sonic 2 and Master System. I'm looking forward to seeing what Mr. Cat does with his Sonic 2 modding abilities in the future. Sonic 2 Remastered for the Sega Master System comes highly recommended. But before I begin to ramble on just a bit, what Sonic ROM hack should I look at in the future, whether they be Master System, Genesis, or otherwise? Let me know down in the comment section below, and while you're at, why don't you subscribe to Stuff We Play for more great content like this? Or, if you feel so inclined, why not back us on Patreon? Because every dollar earned from Patreon does go back into the channel itself, and you can see cool things like early videos or, potentially Patreon Skype calls and Discord chats and whatnot. Hey, it's your call, but don't feel obligated to back us there. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Stay classy, and I'll see you next time.